It was a glorious summer day on the island of Sodor. Toby was collecting milk from the dairy. James was pulling passengers to Brendam Docks. And Thomas was taking some workmen to work. They were building a new station. Every day, Thomas had to take the workmen there and bring them home again. "I can't wait for the grand opening," he told Annie and Clarabel excitedly. "There's going to be flags and a big band." On the way to the new station, there was a difficult bend in the track. Thomas didn't like it at all. He was worried about the bend, but his good friends Annie and Clarabel were there to help him. "Slow down," they sang out. "Slow down and puff with care." So Thomas did slow down, and he puffed with care. "Thank you," Thomas puffed to Annie and Clarabel. "I couldn't have done it without you." Thomas arrived safely at the station. The Fat Controller was waiting for him. "Today, Annie and Clarabel are to go for their refit," he told Thomas. "You must take them to the workshops straight away." "But how will I take the workmen home?" asked Thomas. "You can use ordinary coaches instead," said the Fat Controller. "Yes, sir," said Thomas, and he puffed away to the workshop. Thomas said goodbye to Annie and Clarabel. He was sad. "I don't know how I'll manage the difficult bend without you," he told his friends. The next day, Thomas puffed to the coach yard. He was still thinking about the difficult bend. Thomas went too fast and gave the coaches a mighty biff. The carriages rolled along the line and bumped into James. "Watch what you're doing," James snorted. "Sorry," Thomas puffed. Thomas was missing Annie and Clarabel. He would never have biffed into them. Soon Thomas was on his way to pick up the workers at the new station. Difficult bend, he puffed nervously. The difficult bend came nearer and nearer. Thomas was supposed to slow down, but he wanted to get past the bend quickly. So Thomas went faster and faster. The carriages rattled and shook. Soon be over, Thomas said to himself. And it soon was. Luckily, no one was hurt. But Thomas felt sadder than ever. Harvey arrived to help clear up the mess. Harvey didn't like seeing Thomas so unhappy. "I can't go round the difficult bend," Thomas wished sadly. "I'm not a useful engine without Annie and Clarabel." "You are a really useful engine," said Harvey, "and a jolly good friend." And he puffed away. Thomas trundled slowly back to Tidmouth Sheds. He was very sad. He wanted to be back with Annie and Clarabel. Suddenly, Thomas saw a line of troublesome trucks rushing towards him. They had come uncoupled from Edward. "Cinders and ashes," cried Thomas. "The trucks are heading for the new station. I must warn the station master." So he raced after them. The troublesome trucks clattered along the track. Thomas was determined to save the new station, so he dashed after the runaway trucks. Thomas went faster and faster. He raced past the trucks, but he was nearly at the difficult bend. Thomas wanted to go fast, but he knew he couldn't. "Slow down," said Thomas to himself. "Slow down and puff with care." Thomas applied his brakes. He slowed down and puffed very carefully. He made it round a difficult bend all by himself. "I've done it," he tooted. But so did the runaway trucks. Thomas puffed as fast as he could, and he raced into the station just in time. "Runaway trucks are coming," he cried. "You must change the points." The signalman quickly changed the points. The troublesome trucks hurtled into a siding. They biffed and bashed the buffers. But the station was safe. The next day, Thomas was back with Annie and Clarabel. They were going to the grand opening of the new station. They chuffed along happily together, and when they came to the difficult bend, Thomas slowed down and puffed with care. The difficult bend wasn't difficult anymore. The grand opening was a great success, and the new station looked wonderful. The Fat Controller came to see Thomas. "You have saved my new station," he said. "You are a very brave and useful engine." "Thank you, sir," said Thomas. He was so proud it made his firebox glow.